Hello again, my DIY loving friends, and welcome to Medicated Housewife DIY, where crafting and mental health come together. Are you ready to transform your living space into a luxurious oasis without breaking the bank? Then let's dive into these Dollar Tree DIY hacks and unleash your inner decorator while saving those precious dollars. Elevate your home with style, sophistication, and a sprinkle of thrifty charm. Get ready to impress without the stress. So what are you waiting for? Let's go DIY together. For this DIY, I've got this plastic water bottle as a gift with purchase for free, and I'm on a glass water bottle kick right now, so I wasn't going to use it. They tried to make it look like metal or something, but it's just plastic, so I will put it to better use in this project. I also have one of these small plastic bowls that come in a pack from Dollar Tree. I'm using this hot knife I got on Amazon, and I'll link it for you in the description box below. It is a great tool to have, and it comes with many different attachments, although I'm just using the X-Acto knife attachment for this, but you do have to be very careful using it, because if you are as accident prone as I am while crafting, well, let's just say use it very slowly, very carefully. I'm using the hot knife to cut the bottom of the plastic bowl out since we won't be needing it, and again, as I said, slow and steady is the way to go. Safety first, always. I'm using E6000, which I will link for you below, and a bit of hot glue to attach the bottomless bowl to the top of my plastic water bottle, as you see here. The E6000 is for the long-term hold, and the hot glue is to hold it in place immediately. Then I'm going to set it aside to dry before painting. I took it outside and sprayed it with 2 coats of Rust-Oleum paint and primer in gloss white, which I will link for you below, and I let it dry overnight, and the coverage wasn't perfect, but it will work for our purposes. And we are going to be using some alcohol inks on this spray painted plastic bottle. So first we pour some 91% alcohol in a cup, and this is different than the regular 70% rubbing alcohol. I will link some of this for you below. And then I grabbed some cheap makeup brushes, and I only use these for alcohol inks. I will link a cheap set of brushes for you below. I'm using 2 colors of Tim Holtz alcohol inks, the color Latte and the color Teakwood. I'll link both of those for you below because these are my favorite inks for doing a faux wood finish. Yes, we are doing a wood finish on plastic. I love it. Now, right now, this white bottle looks a bit like one of those eye wash bottles you can get at the drugstore. Tell me I'm wrong, but not for long. We'll fix that right now. I start by wetting the bottle and the brush with some 91% alcohol from that cup, and then using some small drops of the latte ink, I use the brush to push the latte color with up and down strokes around the bottle. I like to explain alcohol ink painting like doing watercolor, only the alcohol is like the water, and it dilutes and lightens the inks as you use them. Also, always wear gloves while using these inks because they will stain your hands and anything else they touch because, well, they are inks. We use that latte color as a base coat of color, and we add more and more to build up the color that we want to achieve. And as you see, it doesn't take long for the inks to take on that kind of wood grain-like look that we're going for. I'm telling you, these inks practically do the work for you. And with the latte base coat down, I start adding drops of the darker teakwood color, and that really makes the wood look more authentic and more dimensional. I just really like what we are building here, and I'm going to finish the main part of the bottle. Then I'm going to move on to the bottom of the bottle. And then once the bottom of the bottle is done, I'm going to go to the inside of the bowl that's at the top of the bottle. Doing the same thing, but we're doing this in a circular motion rather than up or down. You can always use some plain alcohol. If a color gets too intense, that will dilute it and break up the color for you. Alcohol inks are so much fun because you can't ever really anticipate exactly what you're going to get, but it almost always ends up looking amazing. I do the outside of the bowl next, and again, just like the bottle, we use up and down strokes. I did switch to a smaller brush to do that outer bowl because the bowl is smaller. You can drop the ink directly onto the brush instead of onto the bottle, and that works just as well, and it does give a bit more control on the application of the color. Lastly, I used a tiny brush with a darker teakwood color along the seam between the bottle and the bowl because I felt like if it were a real wood one-piece bottle, that area would be much darker wood tone than the rest. And that's just what felt right to me. And this is my faux wood vase made out of a recycling bin plastic bottle. I think this is so modern and sleek looking. I love this look so much. I mean, I always love using the alcohol inks for a wood finish, but this one came out even better than I expected. Inexpensive, really quick to do, and just a seriously cool modern piece of wood decor in my opinion. This next DIY begins with this large plastic party bowl from Dollar Tree, which I taped the top edge with painter's tape, and I'm also using this plastic jar bottom I grabbed out of my recycling bin. I taped the top of the bowl just as a spacer, and I'm using a round foam brush and some white paint to paint 8 circles spaced evenly around the outside of the bowl, just under that taped area. And basically, I didn't trust myself to draw 8 small circles freehand, so this just seemed like a more accurate way to make those circles. I am just not very good at freehanding circles. I don't know about you. You can draw them yourself if you have more confidence than I do. Once the paint dried, I grabbed that hot knife tool and I'm using that to cut out all 8 of the circles that I painted. And again, I want to stress the importance of doing this carefully and slowly to avoid any potential injuries with this hot knife. I literally have nightmares of losing control of this hot knife while using it. They don't call me the Medicated Housewife for nothing. I have some anxiety problems, just saying. Be careful, okay? Also, do this in a ventilated area because there were definitely some fumes from that melting plastic that I am sure I shouldn't be breathing in. So do this next to an open window or something like that. Lord knows what's in those Dollar Tree plastic fumes. But I did cut out all 8 circles without cracking the bowl, so that was a win. I remove the tape and I'm going to use some E6000 along with some hot glue to attach the plastic jar to the bottom of the bowl to make a pedestal for it. And I give the glue a couple of hours to fully dry before taking that pedestal bowl outside to spray paint it. So first I had sprayed the whole bowl inside and out with this Krylon Fusion in a matte clamshell color, which I will link for you below. And once that one had dried, I used some Rust-Oleum bleached stone texture spray, which I will also link for you below. And after that, I felt it still needed more texture. So I added this Montana Granite texture spray, which I'll link below. And I like the texture from the Montana Granite the best, so give it a try for sure. I had this manila rope I got at Home Depot, and I really just like the color and rustic feel to it, but thick jute or nautical rope from Dollar Tree would work for this as well. I'm going to wrap the rope around the top of the bowl, securing it with hot glue, going down to just above the cutout holes. So I'm going to start at that top lip and wrap it around the outside top, stopping when I get down to the cutout holes. Then I start wrapping the inside top of the bowl, and again, I'm stopping just when I hit the top of the cutout holes that are inside of the bowl. I had more rope left and I really didn't like the look of the jar seam against the bottom of the bowl, so I wrapped the rope around the seam just 2 times to cover it up. Even though it's not really visible when the bowl is right side up, I'll know it's there, and I wanted it to be more finished looking. I have this huge roll of macrame cord from Amazon, which I'll link for you below, and I cut 8 pieces of the cord to wrap through my 8 cutout holes. So each piece of macrame cord will wrap through each hole 5 times, as you see me doing right here. And I use a dab of hot glue at the beginning of the wrapping and again at the end to secure the cord in place on the inside of the bowl. I go around and I do that same wrapping through all 8 cutout holes on my bowl. And this is my textured rope pedestal bowl. I love the boho look of this bowl. I wish it had a little more texture, like maybe wrapped in clay or paper mache, but other than that, I love this bowl and I'd be very proud to display it in my home. It's a really neutral kind of artsy boho vibe, and it actually feels a little spring-like to me. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's a breath of fresh air and definitely an upscale use of a $1.25 plastic bowl. This DIY uses 2 of these stemless wine glasses from Dollar Tree. I'm using E6000 to glue them together bottom to bottom, and then I will set them aside to fully dry before painting them. Once they were dry, I took them outside and spray painted them using some Rust-Oleum paint and primer in white gloss. I gave the piece 2 coats and allowed it to dry overnight. Now, I saw on Pinterest you could use gold leaf over hot glue, so I figured I'd give it a try. It looked easy. I don't have a ton of experience using gold leaf, but I have used it before, so I'll link this one for you below. Now, I happen to be using Dollar Tree hot glue, so that might be the issue, but we shall see. I make a squiggly line pattern on both the glasses where they meet in the middle and quickly press some gold leaf on top of that. And I kind of could tell right away it wasn't sticking very well. I brushed the excess away and only about half the leaf was actually sticking. Was it the Dollar Tree hot glue? I don't know, maybe, but I wasn't ready to give up. I tried a few more times with basically the same result. Inconsistent sticking, and overall, it just didn't look very good. But as you can see, I gave it the old college try. But I realized this was not going to happen, so I ended up peeling all the glue off of that glass and miraculously didn't peel the paint off in the process. So, starting over, I happen to have these gold metallic hot glue sticks in my stash. I'll link them for you below. I emptied the clear glue through the gun until the gold glue was coming out. And then I went back to making those same squiggly line, that same pattern over where the 2 glasses meet, using the gold glue. And although the gold was not as metallic gold as I had hoped, at least I was able to get that pattern all around the entire project at the seam where those 2 glasses meet. And it certainly seemed like a cleaner, more self-contained process. But you know me, why stop there? I wanted more metallic gold on my gold lines, so I grabbed this mica powder. I had in my stash, I'll link it, but I'm pretty sure you can get mica powder at Dollar Tree. And you know what I'm going to say, just not my Dollar Tree, maybe yours. And I thought I was slick with the finger cover to rub the mica powder, but no, I had to take that finger cover off and get gold fingers to do this. Oh well, what's a little gold powder on my fingers for a couple of days if it means achieving my goal? So I rubbed all the glue lines with the gold powder to give it a more gold metallic shine, and off camera, I used a wet wipe to clean the mica powder off the white space that was between the glue lines. And this is my gold-lined white vase, and honestly, not my favorite, and I can't help but think this setup with the leaves looks a lot like one of my aunties. Maybe it's the hairdo, I don't know. And basically, the vase looks better from afar than close up, much like my aunt. I'm just kidding, really I am. I love my aunt, she's beautiful. But all in all, an interesting and easy project to maybe try again another time with some gold leaf. And you know the drill. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments which one of these high-end home decor DIYs on a Dollar Tree budget was your favorite and why. You know I love hearing from all of you. And if you've enjoyed this DIY video, there's another one waiting for you. Just click that link on your screen for more Medicated Housewife DIYs. Also, I'd love for you to join our little crafting family and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and until next time, my name is Sarah. I'm the Medicated Housewife, and crafting is my medication.